Howdy guys, Daryl here from the Longboard Hive, as well as how we roll, how Daryl rolls, all that stuff. Basically, today we're going to do another Hive tips video, and we're just going to cover what is called the Hive wallet. Of course, I'm on a wonderful page here, so let me just open that up here for you. So, you've probably been hearing me talk about Hive, Peak D, all these different things. Basically, it's all, blah, 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 the Hive blockchain. It allows you to make money off cryptocurrency while posting about things like skateboarding, such as we do in the Skate Hive. So, one of the things I often find people get hung up on before they start, or when they're asking me about Hive and how to join, is it's so complicated, they're overwhelmed, and they're like, I don't understand it, I don't know how to start. Well, first off, you didn't understand Facebook the first time you tried it. You just bumbled around, created a post, someone gave you some likes, eventually we got to where we are now. Same thing as with Hive. You can very easily just get on it, use it like a social media platform without understanding all these things, and still be quite successful. And eventually, as you come to the point where you want to maybe cash out or do different things, that's when you'd watch a video like this or take some time to learn how to use this platform. And hopefully that would make things very clear and understandable to you. But since you're probably here watching this video already, otherwise I wouldn't be talking to you directly, the audience member, then, well, let me explain this here for you. So, without further ado, we're going to start on the Peak D platform. I can show you the wallet for hive.blog. It's a little bit more simple, a little more boring. You got Hive, Hive Power, Hive dollars, savings, estimated account value. We're going to jump right to the Peak D version because it shows a lot more, and that's going to explain more or less everything. And then at the end of the video, we're going to talk about a strategy to hopefully make some more money off of this whole platform. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not an investor, or at least not a professional one. So do not take my word for anything. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and only invest money that you're able to and willing to lose, because things sometimes go wrong. And that's just a reality that is part of investing. But at the same time, hopefully this will be helpful. And if you do it successfully, maybe you'll be a little bit better off. You'll be one of the people that doesn't lose money their first few times that they invest in things. But that's what the community is here for. That's what I'm trying to help out with. So without further ado, let's talk about the Hive wallet. So you've created a post. You got some rewards. And you're like, all right, I'm going to figure this thing out. What do I do? So you come over to your wallet. You can find it in your little drop-down menu over here, similar to the Hive blog platform. You'll see your pending rewards here. You'll also often see them in your notifications. Pops up sometimes as a bottom square here, depending on which page you are on when the rewards come in. And you simply click claim. Now, depending on how you chose to receive your rewards, it's either going to come in as liquid Hive, meaning that you can buy and sell it, do what you want, send it, whatever you want. It's free for you to use it as you want. It's not caught up and staked in anything yet. Then the other way it sometimes arrives is as Hive Power. And Hive Power determines how powerful your vote is worth, what that does, how much money it's worth, how much curation you get, and how much pull you have on the platform. So it's important to get at least a decent amount of Hive Power, But not everybody wants to keep all their Hive as Hive power because, of course, sometimes you want to sell and make profits. So you keep some as liquid Hive maybe. So the other thing you can do is with the Hive link here, when you do have some Hive rewards here or something you bought, you can choose to power it up, which makes it Hive power. There's a 13-week power down where it then pays you 1/13 of the amount you chose to power down per week. So it's like a passive income for 13 weeks. Of course, then once you've powered down the Hive power, it no longer counts to your voting. So you got to keep that in mind. So don't power up Hive you would want to be selling in a short amount of time. If you need the profits to pay rent and all these things, it's best to keep it liquid in those cases. Now, you can also at the same time convert it to Hive back dollars. This usually takes, I believe, 3 days. You can transfer it to your savings here to earn a 10% APR. Or if you do choose to make it Hive power, you earn actually a 3.37% APR, which is not bad. Definitely better than my bank does, that's for sure. So kind of all over the place here, but basically Hive power is how much your vote is worth, determines your rewards or your curation rewards when you vote on things, and just how much you end up giving out to that person who then receives your vote on their content or their comment. You can also delegate your power to other people. So if you're not really doing much curation, you're not voting on many accounts, and you think it'd be better off that, say, the Steam or the Skate Steam. Why am I saying Steam? If you think it's much better that the community leader had your Hive power, like Skate Hive or something like that, you could delegate them a percentage of your Hive power. Always make sure you leave a little bit for yourself, and they would then increase their voting amount, and you're actually earning the curation rewards from your stake or your Hive power for their actions, while at the same time they get to give out bigger votes and push around more value, which is really important to keep the community happy and support all the people creating content. So it's definitely a way to support the community, and at the same time, if people like what you're doing, perhaps they'll delegate you some money. I personally have delegated a large amount of my Hive power to new members who I felt needed more power in their vote because they were new members, and I just wanted them to get the most out of the platform as soon as possible. So that's a very good strategy to always do. So moving on from the Hive power, we're going to talk about Hive backed dollar. So Hive backed dollar is supposed to be pegged close to $1. It fluctuates a little bit. It used to have a much bigger problem with keeping stable. It was basically not stable, but they've since fixed the algorithms and the control functions for that, which has made it stay a lot more stable. Sometimes it does go down a few cents. Went close to 93 cents a little while ago. Goes up to $1. Sometimes just hovers a little bit below that. But all in all, it's fairly stable and no longer has massive fluctuations. So that is what Hive backed dollars is. And of course, Hive Savings, as I mentioned earlier, is another place to put your Hive where you then earn 10% APR. And there's only a 3-day withdrawal period, which then allows you to sell in the market a lot easier while at the same time earning more Hive. The only problem is, of course, is perhaps you'd be making more if you had it as Hive Power and you were voting and curating content. So that's really one of the strategies you kind of have to look at, and it depends on your own actions. There's no right answer. It really depends on how much you vote and how good you are at finding good content on the platform. So last but not least, there's the estimated account value. That's just based on the token price on CoinGecko. Obviously, I've got a fair bit of Hive. It's worth a decent amount, but right now we're at kind of a low point. So that is all the main things here. Of course, you see the transactions, people sending and buying, and uh, trying to send you a message through, giving you a little tip. Um, you'll see all the transactions there, and you can of course filter them. Um, Rewards, power up, power down. Yeah, all the different things. So different filters to see what you're doing. You can also go into activities here and see exactly the amount of Hive power you got for curation rewards or for author rewards if you filter it down to that. And that just lets you see a little bit more about the ins and out of what's happening in your wallet there. Cool. Got more rewards already. So now that you're familiar with all the different things in the Hive wallet, and we'll get into this side stuff later, let's talk about the strategy on how to try to make a little bit more money out of the fluctuations that happen in the market. So again, I'm not an expert. Do your own research. Nobody can tell you how to invest, and I suggest you do a lot of research before you do any of that. But let's just take a look at the Hive price. So this is the entire lifetime of Hive since the fork from Steemit, which is a whole nother story. I think I do have mentions of that in previous videos. And what generally happens is in markets, of course, things that are highly speculative tend to go up really fast as everybody gets really excited when they see the price go up and they're like, this is going to make me rich. Price goes up way too fast, and then eventually people are looking at this thing, which is, 90 some cents, and they're like, that went up really fast. I don't feel like it's going to keep going higher. I think I'm going to sell. And the price starts coming back down, and no one's willing to buy at this price because they've seen how quickly it went up. So the price comes back down, and of course, people lose interest. They get into NFTs, other things, and they're like, well, I don't know about this Hive token, it's not going anywhere. Of course, this is largely kind of, I don't know if this is quite bear market, but it wasn't yet the bull run. Then the bull market kind of hit. Those kind of a lackluster one, if you ask me. And the price started going up, and we went up to 84 cents again. So, obviously, if you're holding on to a bunch of Hive power, there is, let's see here, we got March 23rd to April. You may have been able to get some of your Hive out of Hive power and sell, and that's possibly why the price was continuing to go down up until this point, just from people selling. At the same time, not everyone is a Hive user that is buying and selling Hives, so you always got to consider that too. But let's just say you did get some of your Hive out. You could sell it for US dollars or whatever it is that the exchange is offering as a pair to sell your Hive token to. Or you can go in your wallet, use this here, go to the market button, or you can use the convert option, but I highly recommend learning to use the market option. And if you've got some Hive backed dollars, it'll tell you there, and it'll automatically fill it when you click in the red available button. Then you click the lowest ask, and that's going to put in the lowest price asked currently on the market and match that same price. Then you would click the buy Hive, or in this case, if the price has gone up high, you want to sell your available high at the highest possible bid. Maybe you want to bring that down a little bit to beat the highest bid and make sure that your order gets sold when a lot of other people might be trying to sell. So there's always those little things you have to consider. But assuming this goes successfully, you would then be selling, in my case, my 59 Hive for about 17 Hive back dollars and 20 cents. Then let's say the price went down to 12 cents. Well, currently I think the price was what? Close to 28 cents per hive. Well, at 11 or 12 cents, you'd be able to buy more than twice the amount of hive with this same 17 hive back dollars. That would be wonderful. You know, if I managed to time that perfectly, it would be a miracle. But, you know, let's just say we sell it at 70 cents or 50 cents, and then we manage to buy back in here, and we're like, oh, it's going to go back up again. We buy at 21 cents, and we're like, oh, it went to 27 cents, but then it drops back down. Technically, you've lost a little bit of money from here to here, but you still have a lot more hive than if you had just hung on to here and just not sold anything. Now, timing the market is very difficult, so don't beat yourself up. In a lot of cases, people do what's called dollar cost averaging, where they just buy a little bit every single time that the price goes down, or even just every single day. And that way they just get as much exposure as possible. They buy all through these boring parts where the market's not doing much. And then as soon as it starts going straight up like this, they begin to take profits. In some cases, you know, you can hold out till you get close to, you know, a very hopeful number, like 40 cents to 50 cents. Say it went up to 80 cents and you just woke up and you saw it that price. Well, I'd recommend selling a large portion at that point. And at the very least, it's going to go back down. You know, 80 cents to 48 cents here, 44 cents. Again, you could have doubled your hive, and you know, maybe it wouldn't be the best because you would go up here and you're like, oh, it was just a minor dip, it's going to go higher, and it doesn't. But anywhere along here, you've increased your hive holdings, and if you believe in hive, this is just, you know, one cycle, two cycles, and there's going to be a third, and then a fourth, and a fifth. And so long as more people are joining Hive or investing in Hive, eventually the price is going to actually start going higher. Like you see here, it went down to 9 cents. It never hit 9 cents again. It at best went down to 11 cents, 10 cents maybe, but it very quickly recovered because a lot of people saw that as the bottom, as the floor, and they just kept accumulating. And really, if you think about it, if you've bought a bunch of Hive at 11 cents and it goes up to just simply 30 cents, you've tripled your investment. Much less if it goes back up to another 70, 80 cents or something like that. So you got to be mindful of these market cycles. I've done a lot of buying and not nearly enough selling. And some people might look at that as negative, as like, hey, you're getting rid of your hive power. Yeah, but it's only temporarily until I can buy back more because I believe in Hive and I'm here for the long haul to be upvoting your content and making curation money and continually increasing my hive power. So different strategies for different long-term mindsets, but that's essentially mine. So hopefully you can time the market. Best of luck. Now keep in mind you got to keep your emotions in check because sometimes you'll fear you're missing out as it's going up. You'll buy, and then as soon as you buy, the price crashes back down and it's now going lower than when you originally bought, and you're panicking, you want to sell. Well, then you've just lost money. So keep in mind it's just as easy to lose money, in fact easier to lose money than it is to gain money. But if you bought a bunch of Hive and you're like, oh no, the price went down, sometimes it's best not to sell. Especially, like, depending on the price that you bought, of course. Keep that in mind. But then you can just simply stake your Hive. Start curating, start creating content, earn more Hive that way, and then just wait for the next time that it goes up to 70 cents or higher. And of course, you gotta take a look at the fact that Hive is actually a fork of Steem. And Steem, essentially being the exact same token, has a much bigger price. I don't know why it didn't go there. Come on, computer. So, if you look at the Steem's history, yeah, it has a similar floor, 40, 30 cents, 13 cents, kind of round where it hits the bottom. But in one of its previous runs, it went up to $4. This is close to $3. And this one went and peaked just above $8. Now, keep in mind with more token creation, that means more tokens on the market. These high prices aren't as easy as to achieve in later dates. And Hive is basically a photocopy or a snapshot of Steem, then going off in its own separate direction as they change some of the codes and some of the things how it worked. But that also means that what we see as the ceiling for Hive, it's not really the ceiling. It only looks that way if you don't understand the history of it being previously Steem and going up over $8. So selling at $1 seems great. You're 10xing that coin you bought at 10 cents. But it can go much higher. And that's part of the reason why I ended up not selling, because I was like, we're going to break $1. I was confident. But we didn't get enough attention in this market, and everything was focused on NFTs, DeFi, and all those things. So maybe it just wasn't our cycle. Maybe we're still in it and we'll see something. After all, Hive has survived multiple bear markets. I don't think that another bear market's going to shut us down. In fact, it just keeps making us stronger, because that's when everybody accumulates a lot more Hive power. So I think that pretty much does it for the investment strategies. Now, on to the extra things that you see only on Peak D. It has ties to what's called Hive Engine. So, as you can see, there's communities on Hive. And Leo Finance is also a community. But it's also what's called a tribe. And a tribe is a community that's created its own platform, its own front end, and its own token. So here you see the Leo tokens, you got proof of brain tokens. And say if I'm talking about something financial, like this video here, I'm going to be tagging Leo because I'm talking about finances and money. So it's going to, my post, because I tag it, is going to show up on the Leo front end and on Hive, just from me making one post, which is, saves me a lot of time and effort. And now I'm going to start earning Hive on that post and Leo. And if I happen to tag proof of brain, because guess what? I used my brain to make this video, I also get more tokens in the form of proof of brain tokens. So not only am I earning Hive, I'm earning 3 tokens making one post using the Hive engine. So that's part of the reason why it's good to get on Peak D, because it gives you access to these big features. You can go to Hive Engine itself, it's got its own website, and see this in your wallet. Most likely you do have some tokens from someone giving you a like or giving you a tip somewhere, or depending on the tags you've used. But if you go to Peak D, it makes this a lot more visible. And then you can go to the exchange page, and this will also show you the different exchanges that have Hive available, where you can sell it for US dollars, transfer it into your bank account, and cash out your rewards. So make sure you sign up for those. If you need review or referral links where you get a little discount on your trade fees, hit me up, and as long as you're actually serious, I can create some referral fees for Binance or Bittrex for you. Then there's also the game section. These are all games tied to the Hive platform where you can sign in using your Hive key. Now keep in mind, be very mindful that you're going to the right website because, of course, you don't normally want to give out your Hive keychain to just anyone. If you're also using the Hive keychain app, a lot of times they can auto sign in for you so that you're not directly typing in your password to a new website. And of course, only Hive approved platforms are going to be tied to Hive keychain, and therefore you won't get phished and have all your money stolen. Which is also why the 13-week Hive power down is implemented, because then if someone steals your account, it takes them a long time to try to take your Hive power, which is a big deterrent, and will also give you more time to try to get your account back, assuming you still have your owner key. I recommend Splinterlands, amazing game, and on the top of that, the cards themselves are actually ending up being worth a decent amount of money. And then their token is the Dark Energy Crystal, which you can also sell on the Tribe Decks or Hive Engine, where you do your buying and selling of all the different Hive tokens. All right, so that does it for my Hive tip video. Hopefully that was very helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Or more importantly, join me on PeakD and or Hive. Comment on the post down below there. I'll give you some upvotes worth money, as well as answer your questions. So as much as I like you helping the algorithms on YouTube, it's to your benefit if you do it on Hive. Do both if you really, really want to support me. I really don't mind. It's no problem to me. Minus the having to answer the question twice. Maybe ask a different question on each platform. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching the Hive Tips. You guys take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.